Welcome to the Private Practice Startup Podcast, where we help ambitious private practitioners across the globe to brand themselves and grow their dream practices. We chat with successful private practitioners, business coaches, and marketing experts, bringing you tons of practice building ninja tips. Visit privatepracticestartup.com for awesome resources, attorney-approved private practice paperwork, and our signature marketing e-course. Here are your co-hosts, Dr. Kate Campbell and Katie Lemieux.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Private Practice Startup Podcast. We are so excited you guys are here, and this podcast is really all about honoring the moms in private practice, the therapists, the entrepreneurs, the moms. So this is a very special episode for us today. So we are delighted that you're here, and we're honoring you as we honor these women who partook in our podcast. If you're brand new to us, we want to welcome you to the Startup Nation family. And we have a gift for you. That is your Dream Private Practice Playbook. And you can grab that over at privatepracticestartup.com. Head on over to the resources tab. And that is the exact playbook that Kate and I have used to create our six-figure private practices and have helped so many therapists do the same. So if you're brand new, definitely grab that. And of course, if you're a loyal listener, welcome back for this very, very special episode. We hope that you guys joined us last week. Another beautiful episode as we actually interviewed Aileen. And Aileen talks about taking a leap of faith and diving into private practice. It was beautiful. She had shared with us a while back that she had downloaded another freebie that we have called our A to Z cheat sheet, and she modeled a lot of what she did in private practice off that. So with her own faith, her own story, the death of her mom and the love from her mom and that she shared, she launched herself into private practice. So it was a beautiful, beautiful story. You're definitely going to want to check that one out for sure. So Kate and I had wanted to do this podcast for a while now and really honoring the moms. And of course, last year, 2020, we were well into the pandemic. I think people were still feeling so anxious and fearful and worried. It just wasn't the right time to do that. But this year really is the right time. And we wanted to honor you guys. Kate?
Yes. And before we dive in and talk a little bit more about balancing work life and home life as a working entrepreneur mother for this special Mother's Day episode, let's go ahead and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor.
Is managing your practice stressing you out? Try Therapy Notes. It makes billing, notes, scheduling, and telehealth a whole lot easier. Check it out, and you will quickly see why it's rated the highest EHR on Trustpilot with over 1,000 verified customer reviews and an average customer rating of 4.9 or 5 stars. You'll notice the difference from the first day you sign up for the trial. They offer live phone support 7 days a week. So when you have questions, you can quickly reach someone who can help. You are never wasting time looking for answers. If you're coming from another EHR, they make the transition really easy. Therapy Notes will import your client's demographic data free of charge during your trial so you can get going right away. Use the promo code PPS to get your first 2 months for free, or try out Therapy Notes for free, no strings attached, including their very reliable telehealth platform. Make 2021 the best year yet with Therapy Notes.
As a therapist, you're probably too preoccupied with your caseload to want to think about bookkeeping or tax filing. Herd Bookkeeping and Tax is a platform built specifically for therapists that helps you track and improve your practice's financial health. Regardless of whether you're a seasoned clinician or you're in the first year of your practice, Herd will help you to identify areas for growth and streamline best financial practices for your business. When you sign up with Herd, you work directly with financial specialists to track your income and expenses, file taxes online, and grow your business. You'll also receive financial insights such as profit and loss statements and personalized monthly reports, so you can say goodbye to poring over spreadsheets and guessing your tax deductions or quarterly payments. Focus on your clients and Herd will take care of the rest. You can even ask Dr. Jennifer Kashani, a licensed clinical psychologist based in LA. She says Herd has simplified and streamlined bookkeeping and best business practices in a digestible and accessible way. Having the foundation of Herd for my business had made myself and in turn my patients feel more solid. Plans begin at just $60 a month and can easily be tailored to fit your business financial needs. You can schedule your first consultation at joinherd.com. That's joinherd, HEARD.com.
like Katie was saying, we had wanted to do this podcast last year. Actually, we've been talking about it for about a year and a half, maybe even longer. But last year we were full on in the pandemic. And for those of us who are parents, it was extremely challenging being in lockdown and working from home and trying to keep everyone safe. I know for me last year, I had a baby at home. I was up several times in the night breastfeeding, and I remember just having so much high anxiety, and it was a really difficult time. So that's why we postponed this episode for this year. Here we are in 2021, and with so many people getting vaccinated, things are moving in the right direction. Life seems to be moving forward and opening back up again. I know Katie just came back from her first vacation that she's been on in a long time. So welcome back from Mexico, BP.
Thank you. And it's funny, we're recording this on Cinco de Mayo, so it's perfect.
Yes, that is so funny. Exactly. Yeah. So this is going to be a special episode. We were blown away by the amount of responses that we had from the moms of Startup Nation. And I know many of you reached out to us and said, you're so excited to hear this episode. And we were able to include a lot of the recordings, but not all of them because we had so many people submit recordings. So this will be a little bit of a longer episode just because we wanted to include as many as we possibly could. And so we hope you guys enjoy. I know for me, as a mom of two, I have my oldest is now 6 and I have a 1.5-year-old, and they are just the light of my life. And being a mom is definitely the most important job that I'll ever have. And it's also the most challenging at the same time, especially trying to balance 2 companies with our group practice, Bayview Therapy here in Fort Lauderdale and Coral Springs, and then all of the work that Katie and I do with the private practice startup. It can be a lot. We asked Startup Nation to respond to a question about how they balance it all and what really works. So that's what this episode is going to be about. People sharing their stories about what works in their own experience as parents to be able to attain balance as best they can, knowing that balance is ever changing and it's constantly evolving. And one side is raising, the other side is lowering, and it's constantly moving. It's like the waves that just never stop changing. I know for me in my own experience, it is so important that I have self-care, and I like to be able to go to Pilates 2 to 3 times a week. And that is something that helps me to center my mind, body, spirit. It helps me to feel like I'm in a better place to be able to manage things, and also having a lot of support. It really does take a village. I myself feel like I'm the best mom when I'm able to also have my own identity, that I'm able to pursue my passions and my purpose with working outside of that. So I feel like having the balance of 2, being able to, when I'm home, really be fully present with my kids, have good boundaries so that at 5:30, I'm disconnecting from work. I'm really present with them. And then when I'm at the work day, I'm able to really focus and try my best to be as present as possible with that. And so we have a nanny who helps with our youngest, and my oldest is in kindergarten. So he's in school till about 2:30, 3 o'clock when he gets picked up every day and comes home. And so being able to have the support is super, super important. And I know I mentioned the word boundaries. It is something that is also very important, being able to say no when you need to, and to have those firm boundaries and not overextend yourself too much, because, the children, for me anyways, come first. And that is something that I try to stay focused on, really prioritizing them and being with them on the weekends, and, not getting sucked into work and that sort of a thing. So it's definitely an ongoing work in progress, being able to find that balance. I guess it's the lifelong search for balance, right? Yeah. So I think those are my biggest resources that work for me, and as I do my best to maintain balance as a entrepreneur, a mompreneur. And I know you all are really looking forward to hearing from Startup Nation about what works for our mompreneurs there as well. Katie, is there anything else that you want to add?
Yeah, no, I was just reflecting back on, we've worked together before you were a mom, so I've gotten to watch your evolution. And one of the things that you're very structured and planned anyway, but, with your intentionality and the way that you work during the times that you work, so you could be available for the kids after 5:30, it's just pretty awesome watching that and just knowing like both of our journeys, like over time, how we used to just let the business run us ragged and then scaling back, not working weekends, scaling back, not working nights, and how that's evolved. And I've been able to watch you do that. But I love this episode. I've listened to the recordings and things like that. And the beautiful thing is we have moms of multiples. We have single moms. We have moms of tweens, teens. We have moms of adult children. So it's just a full episode full of wisdom and information. And there's a lot of talk about self-care, but listen to each woman as she shares a little bit about what that means for her and how she balances that. And there's some really cool stuff in there that I really loved as well. So we hope you all enjoy this episode. It's really our honor to be able to honor you as a mom, as a therapist, as an entrepreneur, and really support our profession this way. So enjoy.
My name is Angel Buchanan. The name of my practice is Angel Buchanan, PhD, and I'm located in Wilmette, Illinois. I have 2 children, one 4-year-old and one 2-year-old. My number one tip on how to balance motherhood and entrepreneurship is to set boundaries, stick with them, and remind myself that taking care of myself will inevitably lead to providing better care to my clients. I decided that I wouldn't schedule clients during the evenings and on the weekend so that I have emotional resources for my kids, my partner, and myself.
Hi, my name is Dr. Anna Flores-Locke. I'm the owner of Charlandra Counseling Services in New Jersey. And I specialize in working with people that have infertility because I myself have infertility and conceived my now 8-year-old twins through in vitro fertilization, IVF. And so as a working mother and business owner, many people ask me, how do I do it all? And my answer is simple. I maintain a morning routine, non-negotiable for me. When I wake up, I put on my workout clothes, I have my protein shake, I take my kids to school, and I go straight to the gym. Being at the gym gives me time for myself to enjoy time with others as well. I get my physical time. I get my stress relief. I'm able to enjoy me time. And I also get to socialize with others. And the best part, and why this is my number one tip as a mother and entrepreneur, is because by starting my day with a morning routine that involves fitness, nutrition, and social time, I am able to handle the rest of the day with ease.
Hi, my name is Ashley Bryant. I'm the owner of Rewritten Counseling Services, and I'm a licensed mental health therapist in the state of Florida. I practice in the city of Port St. Lucie, and I'm a mother of 3 children. My oldest name is Sinai. My middle child is 3 years old, and his name is Robert, but we call him Cinco. And then my youngest is 1 year old, and her name is Journey. My practice focuses on helping families that have children with special needs, as my middle child, Cinco, is a child of special needs, and I understand how there is a struggle to raise children in general. However, this struggle is amplified when you're dealing with a child that has special needs. And it impacts the relationship between the parents, and that between the siblings, and that between the parents and the children. So I recognize how this can impact the entire family, and thus that's where I choose to focus. Balancing my entrepreneurial endeavors and my family life can be difficult, but I found the number one tip that I would use is communication. Being able to communicate my schedule to my family and what they can expect of me as a result of my schedule, as well as being able to communicate to them when it is time for me to indulge in self-care in order for me to pour back into myself so that I can pour into others. So communication is invaluable.
Hi, Kate and Katie. This is Bentley Gambrill. I'm an LPC in South Carolina. My practice's name is Foothills Family Counseling. My number one suggestion or tip for moms in private practice is tech boundaries. So, when our moms were doing their jobs back in the day or when we were kids, people had to call and leave a voicemail on an answering machine. We didn't have cell phones. Well, I didn't. I'm 40 years old, and we didn't have cell phones and stuff like that for a long, long time, and everyone survived. And so really setting the pace with your clients and your practice and with yourself, the boundary of when I'm done with work, that cell phone goes off, my voicemail explains if this is an emergency, what to do, and I will return it at the next business day. That type of thing, clients are okay with that. If there's one that's not, you can just have that conversation with them. But I think it is so important that when we're at work, and that we have that clear separation, that when we're at home or at play, that we're not at work. And I think that's something that we struggle with as a culture and absolutely as working moms. So I hope you all have a wonderful Mother's Day. Thank you for this opportunity to share, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.
Hey, Kate and Katie. This is Dawn Patrice Youngs out of Cypress, Texas, which is a little suburb outside of Houston. I've been in private practice now for 5 years as a solo provider, and I'm just now branching out and starting into group practice, bringing on some graduate students and potentially some associates. Number one thing that has helped me succeed and keep that balance is setting my schedule with my family the priority. So I look at what's going on for the month. I figure out where I can take time out where it doesn't affect my children. And then I build my schedule around that. They come first. That way I'm not fighting and I'm not feeling guilty because I wasn't there for a basketball game, volleyball game, football, animal showing, whatever it might be. I plan my schedule out by the month, and I have my client's schedule a month at a time. That really helps me with knowing what I'm looking at month to month. At the end of the month, that last week, I then start talking to my clients about scheduling out for the next month. That way, I always know what's going on.
Okay, guys, it's sponsor time. You know what? Instead of reading a script about Gusto's payroll and benefits, we wanted to tell you what small business owners say, the people who use Gusto every day. Here's what one small business owner says. With Gusto, I think of payroll as a 30-second job. The website is so friendly and a joy to use. Friendly payroll? You don't hear that every day. And how about Amy from Utah? Amy says, I love Gusto so much. It's so painless. It's like going to the spa, and we have great options and rates even though we're a super small team. Like going to the spa? Wow. And here's what Mneet says about Gusto's support team. Whenever something comes up, I reach out and literally 24 hours later, they tell us what to do or assure us that we've already handled it. Smart technology and friendly humans, that's super cool. Honestly, the list goes on, and right now our listeners get 3 months free when they go to gusto.com/PPS. Yep, 3 months of payroll, benefits, administration, and more, totally free. Again, that's gusto.com/PPS.
Congratulations to all the mothers out there in private practice. And thank you for having me. My name is Diana Russo, and I work in a group practice called Caring Therapists of Palm Beach in Wellington, Florida. I have a 13-year-old and a 3-year-old boy. My tip for balancing motherhood and private practice is basically being fully present on whatever I'm doing at the moment. If I'm working, I trust that my kids are well with who they are at the moment and wherever they are. And when I'm with them, I basically fully present for them. I don't think about work. I don't bring work home, and I don't check the phone as often. So I'm fully for them. They don't have a sense of me being busy and I'm paying attention to them because I really try to separate the two roles to balance my daily life. So I know I inspire them, because one day they're going to be grown men and they're going to have their business, and I want them to be positive role models to society, and I want them to give back just like we do when we are providing therapy and helping others.
Hi there, Kate and Katie. Thank you for giving us mamas the opportunity to share our experiences. My name is Erica Cadenas, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist working in Salinas, California. I have a 4-year-old daughter named Sophia. Personally, the number one tip on how to balance motherhood and entrepreneurship is self-care. Making self-care is balance in managing caring for our little ones, ourselves, and our business. For me, self-care may look different from week to week. Sometimes it may be a cup of coffee, tea, rewarding myself with a Starbucks, a new piece of clothing, watching a TV show, or going for a walk, going to the beach. My main ones are practicing yoga and mindfulness. And all of these really contribute to balancing my personal needs, being the best mama to my little one and wife, as well as the best clinician that I can be. Thank you so much again. Take care.
Hi, my name is Erin Hawkinson, and I'm the owner of Healing Hearts Therapy in Oklahoma, and I am a licensed professional counselor, as well as an entrepreneur in a private practice since 2010, and I am a mother, a newly single mother, of 3 little girls who are 11, about to be 9, and about to be 7. As you can imagine, my hands are very full, but I love doing what I do. And sometimes it is very stressful, but one of the things I recognize that is very important for me, and one thing I preach constantly, is self-care. So that's one thing I have to do, is balance out my self-care. And I have to have a routine that I follow. If I don't have a routine, then I lose some of my stability. And one of the other things that's really important is sitting down and having self-discipline and being intentional about what I plan to do. I love providing hope in the community, as well as being a mother who understands therapeutic things while parenting. So I can provide that and try to be a genuine human being within the community and embrace each role that I participate in with love and with confidence. I would say that's how I balance things, is by continuing to keep a positive attitude, and representing who I am.
My name is Harley. I am the therapist and owner of Mindful Nest Counseling in Mequon, Wisconsin. I became a first-time mom in April of 2020, so we have a 1-year-old son. I also just started up my private practice this year as well, with my passion and specialization being in working with the perinatal mental health population. So I would say that my number one tip on how to balance motherhood and entrepreneurship would be just being very mindful, being in the present moment with who you're with, what you're doing. And this can even include being present with ourselves, right? So scheduling that time. So when I'm doing business stuff, that's what I'm focusing my attention on, whether it be checking emails, calling people back, the list goes on. Am I right? So scheduling the time for business stuff and being focused, being mindful on, okay, this is what this time is for. And then vice versa too. So when I'm with my son, I'm fully present with him. I'm not answering emails, trying to, text people back or respond to people. It's just being very present with my son as well. So scheduling the time for both sides of it and just being very mindful of what I'm doing and what that time is allotted for.
My name is Hillary Bornstein, and I have a practice in Longwood, Florida. I have 2 boys, ages 4 and 18 months. And my number one tip on how to balance motherhood and entrepreneurship is to be flexible. I schedule my life in about 2 to 3 week chunks based on what's happening with my boys, with where they're at developmentally, so that I can meet their needs and still manage my practice. And so I would just encourage all the other moms out there to do the same. Don't feel like you have to box yourself in with working a certain amount of hours or a certain schedule each week. Just do what works best for you and your family. And if you do that, then the good stuff will follow. You'll have great results and be able to manage your caseload in a way that is less stressful for you, and so that you can be the best mom and best practitioner. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Fortier, and I am a private practice owner in Apex, North Carolina. I am a mom of 2 teenagers and a stepmom to a tween, so we have 3 girls in the house. Lots of energy, lots of feelings, lots of counseling. I counsel at work, I counsel at home, I counsel against my will often. Just trying to help everyone get along, process their feelings. One of the things that helps me as a mom, an entrepreneur, a private practice owner is self-care. I love yoga. I love getting outside and hiking in nature, and I love spending time alone. I think that is one of the things that we need to do as mothers all the time, as much as we can, is just recharge our batteries. And I do that really just walking outside and spending time by myself. I've been known to hide from my children on the porch. They know I'm there, they find me, but there is nothing wrong with that. And just really owning what we need is important. So that is my self-care tip for parenting and owning a private practice for mental health care is finding time alone. And it's okay if you hide from your children sometimes. They'll be all right.
My name is Jeanette Etnier. I own the practice at Indiana Counselors and Wellness Educators, LLC. We do most of our work virtually, but we do go out into the workplace, mostly in the Indianapolis metro area. My children are now 32, 30, 28, and 20, but when they were in their formative years, I embraced fluidity and flexibility. It's a big secret. Laughed a lot, used lots of forms of resilience, and reminded myself that the days might be long, but the years go fast. In addition, I created a tribe, both at home and in the workplace, so delegation became very important. I hope this helps and I get a chance to talk more with you, and look forward to hearing from you soon.
Hi, this is Jennifer Deckert, psychologist, Clinton, New Jersey, mother of 2 beautiful daughters, ages 6 and 3. As far as my tip for how to balance motherhood and entrepreneurship, the first thing is I would say there really is no balance. There's no such thing. Some days are really, really hard, and self-compassion is key. But, the thing, I guess, for all of us to strive for is really just to wake up every day mindfully and to just ask ourselves where we're at that day with our feelings, with our needs, and most of our values, and try to make decisions on our to-do list in line with that, whether it be personally or professionally. And that includes clarifying your goals for private practice and, making sure that you are working with the people in your niche that really fill your spirit and that your cup is full every day. But it starts with really just getting in tune with what you need each day and where you're at. So that's it. Thanks.
Hi, guys. My name is Ladidra Stokes from RBS Counseling and Educational Services based out of Ocala, Florida. Thank you for having me as a part of Private Practice Startup Podcast to share my moments with entrepreneurship and motherhood. One thing and one tip only I want to share with you guys is during this pandemic, take advantage of virtual sessions with your clients. In between time, I get to share a lot of moments with my children, and a lot of those things are while I'm managing going to school for my master's in social work online and also managing them for virtual school. My kids is 15 and 6. Their names are Caden and Deanna, and I want to share that a lot of the moments me and my kids share in between my sessions is taking breaks and going for ice cream. We do TikTok challenges together. We also have our dancing challenges together. We enjoy life, and I want to share that with all of you entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Hi, Kate and Katie. My name is Lauren Auer, and my practice's name is Steadfast Counseling, and I'm located in Illinois. I have 2 kiddos, a 4.5-year-old and a 10-month-old. And my number one tip on balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship would be to stick to your guns. The past 7 years of my career, I've been working in agency work. And this February, I decided to take the plunge into private practice. And I think the reason it took me so long was because I was afraid that I would have to do nights and weekends. And with being a mom, I didn't think that was possible. But so far, I've had 0 issues filling my practice and just telling clients right up front that the times I'm available are between a certain time on weekdays. So it's worked out great for me so far, and I'm glad that I've been able to stick to my guns.
Hi, my name is Dr. Lisa Reese, and I am currently practicing telehealth in the comfort of my own home office. So that in and of itself can lend to some difficulty. I have a 16 and an 18-year-old. My 18-year-old came back from college for winter break and never went back. So what we thought was going to be an easier year, just having one child at home and filling that empty nest, never really happened due to COVID. So it's been very interesting. So how do I cope being a mom and an entrepreneur, having my own private practice, plus working a full-time job? I take lots of deep breaths, have a sense of humor, being able to laugh at myself and all the silly, unexpected things that happen during my day. I also delegate lots of time to recharge. I wish it was lots of time, but some time to recharge, take care of myself, and learning how to say no when I really don't want to do something and I want to do something for myself. So try my best to put myself first. And that is every single day.
Hi, my name is Megan Lee. I'm co-owner and therapist at Solutions Therapy, based in Berrien County, New Jersey, where we specialize in perinatal mental health and art therapy. I have a daughter who just turned 1 year old in March. So she was a pandemic baby blessing, to say the least. And my number one tip for balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship that's worked really well for me would be practicing gratitude and doing some gratitude journaling. So I try to take some time either in the beginning of the day or the end of the day just to think about 2 or 3 things that were really positive in the day, and maybe 2 or 3 things that I want to happen for the next day. It's really helped me in terms of staying focused and embracing the challenges and ups and downs of motherhood and entrepreneurship, and, kind of focusing on the things that are working and that are good in my life in any given day. I think that's been really important, especially during the pandemic and these crazy times. So that's my number one tip, and I hope it works for you too.
Hi, my name is Priscilla, and my practice is Smart Start Solutions. We are located in South Carolina, but I also am licensed in Florida, so I support both states. I have 2 little ones under 2, and recently opened my own private practice through telehealth. And one tip or advice that I could give to balancing motherhood and being an entrepreneur is having a really good support system, having people that you can tap into and rely on, especially when you are working telehealth. It feels like you're alone and can be just really daunting, especially when you have little ones at home. So definitely having that support system to where you can get recommendations, get advice, and just know that you are not alone. A big part of that for me has been the Facebook group that we have. And I have wrote countless times in seek of support, in seek of advice, in seek of suggestions. And the community has always provided just a warm, very heart-filled feeling. And it's just nice to know that I'm not alone in this situation, and that there are others who have gone through this already and are able to provide support.
Hi, Katie and Kate. This is Rabia Ilahi with Dharma Integrative Psychotherapy and Wellness, better known as Dharma Wellness. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist in Houston, Texas, private practice. I have two daughters, a 10-year-old, very diva-like daughter, and an 18-year-old beautiful bonus daughter, both of them challenging in their own ways. The number one piece of advice I have for balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship is saying no. It is by far my biggest challenge, and I think many women, moms, therapists have a hard time saying no because we think we can do it all. And what ends up happening is that being our own instruments, we get frayed and frazzled and out of tune. And then we're not much help to anyone. Our kids, our clients, our own relationships, our practice, our business, all of that. So learn to say no. I'm working on it myself. Got a ways to go. Best piece of advice.
Hi, my name is Shola Toussaint. I'm an LCSW in the Tampa, Florida area. I launched my private practice pretty recently, and my practice is Pieces to the Puzzle, Therapeutic and Consulting Services. So doing this number one tip for women in private practice is actually right on time for me because I'm in the early stages of having gone full-time in private practice, and this is actually a reminder for me to not be so consumed in my private practice and forgetting me. So my number one tip is actually to develop who you are when all the titles are removed. When we remove the title of mom, wife, entrepreneur, who's left when all those titles are removed? That's who we need to spend more time with. That's who we need to develop. And that's the person we need to sit with and really get to know and honor and feel comfortable with. So in my private practice, I help Black people and people of color navigate spaces in which they are underrepresented. And with that comes so many layers of trauma, racial trauma, dealing with microaggressions in the workplace. And overall, there's an overwhelming feeling of pressure to perform and to be perfect in these spaces where you're underrepresented. So that comes with an overemphasis of titles and roles. And like I said, the pressure, right? So in private practice, moms can easily fall under all that pressure to be successful in their private practice. And so similar to the population I work with, I encourage moms in private practice to do things that are solely for them. Really nurture and get to know who you are at your core when all the titles are removed. So essentially, you'll end up being a better fill in the blank, a better mom, a better wife, a better businesswoman. All the titles and all the spaces you find yourself in, you'll be a lot better in those spaces.
Hello, Kate and Katie. This is Tanya Jones Awalusi. My private practice is Butterfly Effect Counseling and Consulting, LLC, located in Matawan, New Jersey. And here's my motherhood tip. Have a whiteboard. I have two children. They are both teenagers, 13 and 17 years old. And you would think, being in private practice sessions, that they wouldn't interrupt you, but they do. So having a whiteboard behind your computer off screen where your clients cannot see is key. My kids will come in, they'll sneak that whiteboard, leave a message, and put it right behind the laptop. 9 times out of 10, it's about what are we going to eat or what time are you done. Don't know why, but teenagers still need their mama even when they're in sessions. I hope this was a great tip, and thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us on The Private Practice Startup. Visit theprivatepracticestartup.com for awesome resources, free trainings, attorney-approved private practice paperwork, and so much more.